everyone, thanks for tuning into my channel. I'm Kidest, and this is where I share tips, insights, guidance on co-creation, conscious evolution, the nature of reality, the nature of consciousness, and all of that good stuff. If you're new to my channel, there is tons of videos, teachings, insights, and guidance right here for you, so be sure to subscribe so you get notified when I release new videos. Now, in this post, I want to revisit a topic I touched on, what looks like, almost 15 years ago. And that topic is the relationship between consciousness and astrology. Years ago, back when I was just doing voiceovers over, visualizations of audio footage, I talked about how, regardless of what we're talking about, in a consciousness first worldview, where consciousness is primary, where consciousness comes first, we look at the sort of agency and influence of consciousness on the material world. So everything within space-time, planets, stars, celestial distribution, celestial organizations, and everything thereafter would be secondary, would be the effect or expression of consciousness within the space-time domain. So in my initial expression of that understanding, I shared that you want to maintain a position of authorship in your experience. So it's not the planets dictating your destiny. It's not the arrangements of the stars and what's rising and what's ascending and what's, whatever the different astrological positionings are. That's not what you take to be the decider of your experience. And I still stand by that perspective, because the very nature of a consciousness first worldview, the primacy of consciousness being fundamental, is that you become an empowered participator, an empowered co-creator in your life experiences. So regardless of what tool we're talking about, regardless of what tool we're using to read the signals in the physical environment, and those tools are necessary. Life is complex. The emergence and manifestation of life experiences are complex. So any tool that helps you read and understand the signals in the environment can be useful. But when that tool puts you in that seat of being at the mercy of something outside of yourself, at the mercy of things, planets, forces, powers outside yourself, you are not an empowered agent in your daily life experience and your broader understanding of what you're here to experience and express as an embodied being. So one of the reasons I teach, and I was drawn to the primacy of consciousness, that consciousness first worldview perspective, that paradigm, was that it puts you in the seat of co-creative power. It empowers you. It gives you choice. It gives you free will. It gives you the power to say no thank you to potential influences in the environment that don't serve your highest good, that don't serve your expansion, that don't serve your empowerment, that don't serve your evolution. So I encourage that assessment of the tools that you make use of in your daily life, whether it's astrology or any other tool, that you measure and assess. Does it keep you in that seat of influence? Does it keep you in that seat of your capacity to inform the field, inform the quantum field, inform the vacuum, however you want to phrase it, what you want to experience from here on out? Does it give you that power of authorship? So I encourage you to measure it. The tool itself isn't a problem. Astrology can very well evolve to reflect that relationship you can have with universal intelligence, with the universe. Any tool can evolve to accommodate your co-creative position in attracting and bringing to fruition the things that you want to experience in your life. But anytime some tool puts you in that seat of victimhood, essentially, it says, this planet's doing this, or this thing is doing this, and therefore you're going to experience this. You need to have psychological boundaries, spiritual boundaries. You need to assert limits on that kind of information so that you maintain that empowered solar plexus that says, I have agency, I have choice in my daily life. And beyond that, when I awaken to higher levels of consciousness, I very well have the power to influence what I experience now and in the next moment. So what I teach is to help you come into that level of awakening and to recognize the tool for what it is and to use it, if you're attracted to using it, in ways that keeps you in that seat of empowerment.